let me compare you with Landmark Cars, right? That's the only other listed player.
Absolutely.
Popular Vehicles will be the second listed player on Dalal Street right now when you debut. Tell us, for the benefit of our viewers, what's the big difference between Popular Vehicles and Landmark?
So, as I said, the market is large enough for a lot of players to be there. Landmark's concentration is on luxury vehicles, so they are in terms of Mercedes-Benz. But Popular Vehicles and Services, Jeep, etc. Well, I'm saying our concentration, Popular's concentration is on services and on mass vehicles and a certain percentage of if you look at our entire book, we are well spread out in terms of Maruti, Tata Motors commercial vehicles, we have Jaguar Land Rover, we have a spares distribution. But our key focus is in terms of services. And we have done 1 million vehicles on that. And that's how we would tend to grow also, because the EBITDA margins are larger. So I think the key difference is our entire focus is on the service industry, and within the service industry, the body shop, which is the accident repair. If you ask me, Landmark versus us in terms of numbers, I think you would have all the numbers better than us.
Yes.
So I'm not getting into numbers per se in terms of turnover, EBITDA margins, in terms of PAT, everything. But in terms of the total size of the market, the Indian market is today at 4 million vehicles. And there are as he mentioned, about 2,500 dealers. This would probably go to about 8 million vehicles as per all the industry reports, CRISIL, everything, by 2030 odd. Okay, the consolidation of dealerships would happen. So if you look at even in a market like US, which sells about 14 million vehicles, the highest, which is AutoNation, which is the largest dealer, has got a market cap, it's got a turnover of only $26 billion. Whereas the top 10 dealers over here is probably under $1 billion.
Okay.
So there's a long scope for probably about 8 or 10, and we're hoping that more dealerships get listed. So I think Landmark showed the way. We have Populars right behind. We probably in the same peer group as such. And I think probably another 3-4 players would get listed at some point of time.
The reason I'm asking is that the shareholders will have a choice. Right? I'm purely comparing the numbers. Landmark has sold less than half of the new vehicles compared to you. 1/3 of the number of vehicles which are serviced. You're at 9 lakh plus, and I think they're at a little more than 3 lakh. Right? You're at 9.5, they're at 3 lakh. Their margins are higher. Their EBITDA margins are close to 7% last year, and you're closer to 5.5%. And their revenue is only 70% of yours, despite selling half and 1/3 of the new vehicles and serviced vehicles. So in that, just wanted to understand.
So as I said, EBITDA margins will get a skew depending on the number of vehicles that are sold, because as you sell more at the price point of that. Second, as Mercedes-Benz does not allow dealers to hold inventory, that's a difference in terms of EBITDA. Okay. But if you look at sheer PAT numbers, I think last year we were at 64 crore PAT, they were at around 80 crore PAT. So Popular was at 64, they were at 80 crore. This year, first half, we are at a 40 crore PAT, and I think we are at 28 crores PAT. So if you look at the well-diversified thing that we have, and the concentration of services will play out in the long term. And we are not going to be listed in the market for a short-term thing. We are looking at a 15, 20-year, 30-year, 40-year view. And as we grow our services, and that's where our concentration is, with the 55% margins on services, you can look at what the multiples would be going forward.